I'm about to jump my ass. I feel like I'm.
What's your name?
My name is Philip. My rapper name is right now is FLEEBOYPHILLY.
Where'd you get that name from?
Well, because I remembered, I forget who I had on. I think I had somebody on social media, like it said Flea Boy on the top, and it like just like rang a bell, and like I was trying to think because at the time my old username used to be like was good or some shit, like it was some like corny shit, and like I was like, nah, I need to change it. And when I saw Flea Boy, and then I just saw, feel me, my name was Phil, and like some people used to call me Philly, so I was like, I just combined it, feel me, and thought it would sound wavy. Because when I had assigned that name to myself, or when I had put it on all my social medias, and I started to roll like with that as my name, it was like a dawn of like new beginnings, or it felt like new beginnings for me, because it was like in the time exactly that I had changed my name to that, it's like I felt a lot of things escalating for me upwards in life. So it's like I was like, since that it reminds me of times when I was upgrading and when I was going up rather than going downward. I just thought it's only right, because it signifies upgrade,
And is this a name that you will use to symbolize something out there?
I mean, I would hope, because it's like, you wouldn't expect names like Playboy Cardi and Little Uzi to mean something as big as it means now, but it means what it means. You wouldn't expect 21 Savage to be a symbol, but now it's a symbol, so it's like you never know what it could turn into, you know what I mean? So that's the way I see it.
And with that name, what do you use it for?
Well, I mean, some people call me that, you feel me? Like, that's like my nickname for a lot of people. I use it for music, for social media. I use it for everything because it's like, I just feel like it's what rings the best. And I've been using it for a minute. It's not corny, it's not. I feel like, of course, I could have a better rap name, of course, because, like, there's a lot of options. But it's like, it's only so early. I've only been doing music for like a year and some change. So it's like, since I'm just starting, who knows what I'll discover along the way,
So you say they do music, right? What kind of music do you do?
Well, I know like the typical answer everyone gives, oh, I do everything. But me personally, I feel like I've been dipping and dabbling into a lot more, turn music, like trap music. I've been doing a lot more trap music. I'm into like old school rap a lot, and I have some songs where I reference my love for that type of hip hop, and I get into like an R&B melodic vibe as well. Those are like my three main ones. But right now I'm working into like rock and pop, and what's the other one? Rock, pop, and even gospel. Gospel songs. Like, and what inspired that was the Kanye album that had came out, like, because of all the new sounds that I heard on that and how much I loved it. It made me want to explore more with my sound.
Would you say one of those artists that do those kinds of genres, are they like what you call it? Are they like someone you look up to?
Well, there are artists that I look up to in the aspect of lyricism. There are artists I look up to in the aspect of as a person and all together. So, I mean, overall, people I look up to, I'd probably say Aretha Franklin, Freddie Mercury, Lil Uzi, definitely. Love Uzi. Juice WRLD, who else? A Tribe Called Quest, you know that? A little bit of Logic, like the older Logic. Kendrick Lamar and J. Cole are like my favorite all time. Like, those are the ones that I like came up, the people that actually made me find a love for music was Kendrick and J. Cole. Joey Badass, Isaiah Rashad, who else? I fuck with Cardi, and fuck with, I already said Uzi, but Cardi is weird because when I say to people that I'm influenced by Cardi, they are like, how? Because your music doesn't really sound like Cardi. But it's like, it's in the fact that he's like so in his own lane, and I would hope as an artist to be able to be in my own lane. And I feel like as of now I'm in my own lane, or I'm going to be in my own lane soon, like from what I'm doing right now.
So would you say that these artists that make this music gave you a benefit in life? Like, they made it better than...
Like the artists that I'm influenced by?
Well, the artists that you just mentioned.
Yeah, all the artists I just mentioned, like, they definitely all play a huge role in where I am today. Like, and honestly, I feel like everyone can relate to the fact that without music, a lot of us, like, we wouldn't, like, be here. You know what I mean? Like, music is what helps us escape reality. It's like a drug that doesn't have an effect on your body, but has an effect on your soul. You know what I mean? It's just one of those things that just captures you and make you feel like you're your own person in your own world, and like nothing can stop you when you have those headphones on. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. So what made you decide to do music?
Honestly, it's like I feel like ever since I really heard music, because I was one of those kids, since I'm Dominican, like I was one of those kids where my parents didn't play music from our like American culture around the house. It's always Dominican music. That's all I ever knew. And so when I turned like 10 or 11 or 12, because I got a phone really late, I didn't really have like technology like that growing up. So when I got my first iPod, the only iPod I had back in the days, I used to listen to Mad, Bruno Mars, and a lot of other artists like that, you know, the old school stuff. But that was it, really. I didn't really have the comprehension yet to be able to dissect music by the compound. So when I got around, 12 years old, 10, 11, 12 years old, I had figured out Kendrick Lamar was, who J. Cole's. I figured out all those artists, and that was around 2015, I believe. And Kendrick Lamar dropped To Pimp a Butterfly, and then that's what made my whole like perspective on just life, music, everything just changed completely. And even though I couldn't dissect lyrics, it's like I heard certain things here and there that would just make me like, yo, bro, like it's such a powerful art to be able to make music the way he does. And with time, then I had discovered J. Cole, 2014, Forest Hills Drive, and those two albums were just back to back on replay for like probably a whole year and a half for me. And then that's when I decided to look into people like Logic and X, and I found out about X way before, all the big buzz and all that, before he dropped Look at Me and all that. And my music taste was like slowly expanding, but it's like at the same time I was never really retaining lyrics and really like reading lyrics and breaking it down till I was probably like 15, 16 years old. And the only time I really started trying to understand the lyrics was around the time I started making music. So all this music stuff paced very fast. So what made me really want to make music, honestly, like I had no motivation to do it for years because I never had the confidence, I never had the courage to do it. I had the courage to do everything else except make music, even though that was the one thing that was closest to my heart. And I remember this guy I know named Mahari, his father was he was heavily connected with like music people around the area. He was connected with engineers, producers, studios, all that, and he had hit me up like, yo, like I hit him up one summer and I was like, yo, I really want to like make music because I saw these other kids making it from this other school. I was like, yo, I want to make music because if these kids can make music, then why the fuck can't I? You know what I mean? Like, why can't I? And then, so I hit him up, and like, we were just talking, but I was realistically too scared. A year passes, we get back into contact. I start working at Dunkin' Donuts, making great money. Like, you feel me? I was just getting out, like, a lot of money. And when I was getting all that money, I was like, yo, I have the ability to make music. Why am I not doing it now? I hit him up. I sent him a couple freestyles I did in my room, like just joking around though, and he said it was really good. I didn't even know how good I was at freestyling at the time, so I was underestimating myself. He was begging me, get in the studio. Like, you have talent, bro. You need to, like, I hear something in you. And I never really took that into consideration until one day he texted me. He just told me shit. I'd be like, you gotta stop being a bitch. You feel me? Like, you gotta stop, putting yourself at such a low standard even though you have so much to offer. And that day when he told me that, I booked the studio session that same day. I called the people that same day. I got in contact with a studio in White Plains with a guy named Brian Rios. I got in contact with my boy Tragic Loke. He's another engineer and producer that I worked with and a mix and master, and he helped me make my first song. So honestly, the reason why I started making music was because of him, because of Mahari Senior, and like that's one of the people that when I make it up, I definitely got to give back to him because he really helped me get up there. So yeah.
So you're saying that the iPod was the one that started it all?
Honestly, yeah. Like when I was listening to Bruno Mars around like 7 years old, 8 years old, that's what got me like so into music, but it's like I didn't have the utilities around me. Everyone in my house did church music and choir and all that, but I never had the utilities to really explore myself musically and what I like because it wasn't no American music around me. And I didn't have the utilities to be able to do it because my iPod ended up breaking. So it's like I basically just had a TV. I was living life like a normal kid with no tech though. And everyone around me had technology, but I had nothing. So yeah, that's basically where it started.
If you didn't get this iPod in the first place, do you think you would be where you're at right now?
Honestly, I feel like God plans things for us for it to happen. So it's like if something is your plan in life, regardless of what you try to do to keep it away from you, it's going to come back. There are times where I took months off of music or months off of the idea of even thinking about starting music because I had such little faith that it would go anywhere. And it always came back somehow. I would always hear a beat, always hear a song that just inspires me to write something. Or I'll make remixes all over the place. Like even now I probably have like 1,000 songs in my phone. You understand what I'm saying? Like 500 to 1,000 songs in my phone from way back when. I was just crazy about that. You know what I'm saying? I was crazy about music. And even when I wasn't as good at lyricism as I was now, I knew eventually I would get to the point I'm here now, and I know I'm gonna go beyond that. You understand? So like that's honestly how I feel about it.
Okay. So, what do you want to do with this music then?
Honestly, I just want to like take it as far as it could go. And I know that, you know, people are gonna say whatever they say. And there's gonna be times where you have doubts in yourself. There's gonna be times where things don't go your way. But realistically, I'm here for that marathon. You know what I'm saying? I know that nothing in life is a sprint. It's always a marathon. You feel me? Words from my boy right here. Words from my boy right here. That's wise words from Justin Johnson. My boy right here. That's wise words. And that's you know, once, you know, even when he told me that, when you feel me, like, I remember we was on the staircase. Yeah. We was on the staircase.
At the project with
we was on the staircase and he had the dreads. And I was freestyling to him and he was like, yo bro, feel me? Like dude, he was like, yeah, he was like, yeah, that shit fire. And then you feel me, I was like, man, like you feel me, maybe I could really do this shit. So it's like
stay down.
Yeah, you know, that's all I can say is, you know, I'm gonna be doing this forever. Like I don't care what notoriety I get. It's just a way to get out. You know what I'm saying? Get everything out there. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there a message behind your music?
Yeah, actually, like I'm not gonna lie. Of course, some of my songs, like my recent one, Canary, and the songs I got coming. Of course, some of them are not gonna have meaning, because realistically, you know, you're supposed to enjoy music. Like, music is just an idea. Same thing with my lyrics. I don't like when people take some of my lyrics too literally, because not everything is meant to be taken literally. The art of music is to paint a picture. It's kind of similar to painting art. It's like you have an idea in your head, and based off the canvas that you are given, you make an idea out of it. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like not everything. I don't like when people take things too serious and try to check me on some of my lyrics, because I'll tell them straight up, and I'll always be real with everybody. You feel me? Like, to me, that music is an art, but there are definitely songs that are directed towards certain audiences of people. There are songs such as Election Day, and songs like that don't do that good, which is something I don't like about our generation. A lot of songs that have a real deep meaning don't do as good because people are only here for the feeling rather than the meaning. You know, and so because of that, you know, I mix it up because I'm a feeling and a meaning person. Sometimes I just want to feel good with music. Sometimes I want to listen. You know, so I feel like my meanings could be mixed. Songs like On the Edge, songs like Do You Want Me, songs like this one that I got coming up called Is It Real. I got a lot of songs that have a meaning, but you actually need to listen. You need to hear, you know?
Okay.
That's up in the stash.
Facts. Facts.
I just got
that's like about 120 unreleased songs, man. All freestyle too, right?
So you're saying that people need to hear it, like...
Yeah, people need to, like, you know, people are too lazy nowadays. The attention span of our generation is so short that people they hate dissecting music sometimes. I know a lot of people that do dissect music, but most people are just really there for the beat and the melody. And there's no shame against that, but it's like I don't want someone to come over here and try to judge my music when they don't even know what I'm saying in the first place. You know what I'm saying? You ain't even take the time to understand it to be able to judge it. So it's like your opinion means nothing to me because you're not making an educated summary of what my music is based off what you hear because you're not hearing it, you know?
So, are you only saying this because this is your music, or are you like saying in a way to spread awareness for other people to listen to other artists that same way?
That's
the way you want to.
I'm doing it for both because, of course, for my own music, I want people to be able to digest my music and actually connect with it. But also, there's a lot of other artists that I know that are very underrated, and the reason they're underrated, and even me, I've never had an ego. If you make good music, I'm always gonna tell you that. I'm always gonna be real. I'm always gonna be like, yo, that's bars, that's fire. I'm always gonna show love to the people who deserve love shown. It don't matter. I don't see myself any higher or lower than anyone, even though I do think I'm better than a significant amount of people. And that's just my confidence, you understand? But at the same time, I want people to look at music as, yo, like, you feel me? Us as a generation, we're really not going to get anywhere if we're so close-minded towards certain people who are actually trying to do something bigger than life. You understand what I mean? So yeah, that's how I see it.
What do you imagine your future to be like with your music?
Honestly, like, I just see it going more up than it even is now. Like, regardless of, like, what is happening now, I'm more focused on the future than the now because I know that it can only get better. You understand? Like, when I look at myself from the start and I look at myself now, it's like I'm able to make melodies, to make songs in less than 10 minutes in studio time. You know, one take songs, able to do all this stuff. So it's like, I don't see it going lower than that because that's impossible. All I can do is improve and get better at my craft and what I do. I just see it reaching to the sky. I see myself performing at things like Rolling Loud. I see myself having a big fan base. I see myself having people that care about me more than just my music, having people that are here for me, but I also know there's going to be snakes in the grass that are going to be there for a benefit, and I'm just too real, so I see through all that. So that's how I see it.
Okay. Now, are you saying that because other artists are doing that, or are you trying to do that to have it be your own thing?
I mean, every artist is different, you know. I'm not gonna compare myself to anybody because I'm not anyone. I'm FLEEBOYPHILLY. You know, there's other people. You know, he's Playboy Cardi. He's Lil Uzi. He's 21. He's, you know, Maxo Cream. Like, it's like everybody is, you know, their own person. He's Kanye West. I'm not trying to be like anyone. I'm not trying to sound like anyone. I'm not trying to do anything anyone else is doing. I'm just trying to do me. And if people want to appreciate that, they can. And if they don't want to, I'm going to do me regardless because that's the only way I'm happy is when I'm doing me, you know?
Okay. So, with the music you make, what do you want people to understand about you? Not the music, but you.
I feel like I would want people to understand that, you know, that it doesn't make you look, and this is directed towards myself, you're not, and this is a problem that we have, especially in our state, in New York, you're not a weirdo, or you're not a sherm, or whatever, for expressing your emotions and being expressive, being open. That makes you more of a real man to me than anything else. If I see a guy cry, if I see a man cry when he's really like going through stuff and he confides in somebody who he trusts, that doesn't make him a bitch to me. To me, it makes him human, makes him a real nigga, bro, in my opinion. Because people with that pent up anger, you see people that go out in the streets and punch and kill and do all this stuff. Like, technically, you're still sensitive. If you think about it, people think that because you're breaking people down and shooting people and you doing all that doesn't make you sensitive. If you have a short temper, that's still an emotion. So you're still technically a sensitive person. You're just not sensitive in a crying manner, but that you're not looked at as any higher of a man because you can't control yourself. That doesn't make you a man. You understand? So I feel like everybody should be able to be open and talk when they're feeling a type of way. That's the only way that I feel like us men should live life. And a lot of people will like want to suck it up and just be, you know, a real man to please, you know, women and to please the world and to look good for girls. Like, bro, I could give a fuck about that shit. I never gave a fuck about that shit. And I never had problems with no girls. I never had, feel me? Like, I never had problem, you feel me, attracting people with my personality. And why is because I attract people who really like me for my deeper self. Those people that don't express themselves will have a harder time finding a real one than someone like me. But because I'm so open, people see the real me when they meet me. And they're able to determine if they want something or not. And when you got someone that's hiding everything inside, people don't know you until they really dive deep into you. And that's when things hurt harder because it's dragged along. Me, on the spot, I'll know whether someone's good or bad for me. And they'll know whether I'm good or bad for them. Because if they consider me being myself as sherm or as weird or as, like, you know, whatever they want to call it, then, like, I could give a fuck less because I'm a high-value person. And me being a high-value person, I always know that I'm going to attract something better. So if you want to leave, that's fine because I'm going to get better. There's no, like, whether it's a girl, whether it's a best friend, whether it's my man's, whether it's a family member, whether it's any figure of a friend or anything. I know that if you're going to leave my side because of the respect I have for myself and the value I know that I hold, I know I'm going to achieve higher than that. And you can't do anything to stop that because that's my personal confidence and that's just my personality. So you can have fun making fun of me, making rumors about me. You could have fun doing whatever you want to do, talking whatever shit. Realistically, feel me, I'm here. And like I'm unbothered.
You're yourself.
I'm myself. I could give a fuck less what people say. I'm so unbothered, it's ridiculous. Now, of course, you know, music relies on the opinions of others because what people think of your music is what's going to determine your success. And I know that, but feel me, I want to attract the right fan base that loves me for me. So regardless whether I have to wait 3 years or whether I have to wait 10 years, I know that the fan base I'm going to have is going to be a real fan base because I'm not fake. I'm not a see-through person. I'm not, you know what I'm saying? You see my personality and it's either you accept it or you get the fuck out. It's that simple. So I know I'm going to have a fan base full of people that appreciates me not only for my musical ability and talent, or not only for my performance skills, but for me. Feel me? And that's all I'm concerned with. You know?
Okay. So, would you say this music is a way to help you with something that you're going through right now, if you are?
Definitely. Honestly, I'm not going through anything right now. Like, life is, like, fucking amazing. Literally, like, I have all A's. You know, I'm juggling school, music, friendships, bonds, going to parties. I'm living life. Copping, designer, doing anything I want to do. Feel me? Like, you feel me? Feel me? Like, am I wrong? Like, am I wrong? I'm doing everything I want to fucking do. Of course, there's going to be bumps along the road and people who try to tear you down. Realistically, like, you know, you can mourn and be sad for a couple seconds. And don't get me wrong, if someone approaches me with some bullshit, or like I feel like someone doing me sideways, I'm going to get mad in that moment. But I hope you know, after I'm mad at you, I no longer give a fuck. And you're out of my mind.
Gotta find the path.
You know me, you got to find the path. Like, you know, I dealt with you for the time, but you're not going to take up all my energy. Realistically, I sit with a smile on my face every day in my room, every day when I go to school. I'm never mad about anything. Life is going fucking fantastic, and nobody can stop that. It's that simple, plain and simple.
It's tough.
We all got the same 24 hours, man.
We all got the same 24 hours, bro. If you gonna use your 24 to think about me, then I guess that's your occupation. But me, my occupation is getting money, staying happy, and letting my bros eat.
And having
Get
that
it fly.
drive.
You
You got to have that drive too.
Come on, man. Relax, man. Like, I'm not going to worry about people who's overly worried about me, because that means you're obsessed and you have an addiction. And I know I'm kind of addictive at times, but, you know, I get it. You know, it's okay. You can lay off if you're a hater, you know. I'm gonna live life regardless. Like, it's not no ego. It's not ego. I'm not a cocky guy. But if you're spending a bunch of time out of your day to think about me, then I must be special. I must be doing something right, because you're fueling my ego now. And I don't want to be egotistical, but you're fueling it. You feel me? Like, stop. You feel me? You're wasting your time, man.
Gotta have that drive.
Yeah, you feel like, girl, I'm chilling, but yeah, that's honestly how I feel about it.
So after everything you just explained, what would you say to the people out there?
In terms of what? Like, what do you mean? What would I say? Motivational, like.
Any way of how you want to explain something. What would you want to tell the people out there that are listening to you right now?
I would probably want to tell them that, like, just be you, and you feel me, like, you see all these artists that we listen to, and whether you want to be a doctor, a lawyer, anything like that, like, you see all these people that are all big and famous and rich, all the Jeff Bezos, all the Elon Musks. At the end of the day, we all bleed the same blood. Feel me? We can do the same things as those people can do, and you know, there's two types of people in this world: people who think they can do it, and people who think they can't do it. And Will Smith said that, and he said, and in most cases, both of them are right. Meaning, if you think you can't do it, you're not gonna do it. If you think you can do it, you will do it. So all that, honestly, life is just a game of confidence. It's whether you want it or not. And you need to have that battle with yourself and have that conversation with yourself. And if you don't want it, it's manifestation. If you don't want it, then you're not going to get it. But if you want it, you will achieve it with hard work and prayer. That's all, bro. You feel me? And like people, you know, regardless of what New York tried to trick you in, and I say New York because this state is really toxic with the way people claim they're your brothers, and then they not gonna support you. People claim this, people claim that. There's a lot of fake shit that goes on in the state. I mean, and every backdooring niggas, all types of shit happens here. But never let that take you away from your personal goals. Because at the end of the day, who's gonna be in that grave with you? Nobody. No money. Money's not gonna be in the grave with you. Jewelry's not gonna be in the grave with you. Friends are not gonna be there. Family's not gonna be there. You're gonna be alone. So that being said, live this life as if you are all alone in it, and you have everything and every utility in the world to make whatever your dreams are happen. You know what I mean? That's what I have to say.
I ain't no goofy dude, but if he run up, I'ma shoot. And I ain't gon' shoot out loud, but my homies do. I'm getting money, so I wet them up just like a cruise if I want to. Yo, bitch, she wanna roll up, pass me the Fonto, and after that, what we is gon' do? She wanna fuck while she high. I fuck a bitch, she bisexual. I fucked and said bye. You get it cause she was bi. I get that money so much, metal, my neck alkaline. Yo, bitch, I fuck all the time. Like I said, it's perfect time. The rollie on my wrist is shining and blinding. I got the diamonds. Made me think about my refinement. I'm recollecting all the decisions that I'm decepted. All these people trying to fuck with me. Yeah, so much deception in this world that I've been going through, but I am used to it. I'm ain't new since I pull up my niggas been shooting. I've been rooting for my team and my squad been cooling. I feel like Gunner with this gun, boy, who is you fooling? I don't got no guns, but I got gas, I'll roll you in with the runs. These niggas talking so much, I don't like to talk. Yo, bitch won't fuck with me. After that, no Uber, she walks. Yeah, I ain't calling Ubers. I'm the shit just like manure. Ballin' hard just like Manu. That little bitch think I ain't cute. She stick to me like super glue. I told her what we finna do. I fuck her, then I kill the pussy. Now she on the news. It's News 12 Westchester. I'm the best in it. That nigga tryna run up. That's a bad decision. I'm getting to this money. Yeah, I'm getting all the millions. Leave red on the scene like that boy Chin Crimson. I could give a fuck about these niggas cause I'm winning. Diamonds on my face, you see the diamonds in my lenses. I ain't not no jealous boy, I ain't John Lennon. But if he run up, he get stopped like a beetle, John Lennon. That boy, he was a beetle, bitch, I'm fly just like a seagull. Yeah, I shoot like Larry Bird when I carry Desert Eagles. Do you get it, Larry Bird? Cause a bird, that's an eagle. Like I said, I'm fly like a seagull. Make movies like Regal, that's a cinema. Yeah, I ain't finished yet. Yo, bitch wanna finish sex. After that, she gets missed the next way. She get dismissed to the next. I get more money than a ref, nigga. Run up on you, kiss tag. All my niggas disrespect. I flex just like Lex, nigga, that's Luther. Like I said before, nigga, I'm the shit, no manure. Been shitting on these niggas like porta potty, nigga, I am a the pooper. Yo, bitch wanna fuck us with her, got a best friend, way cuter, I got a best friend, got a Smith & Wesson. You have a stomach ache, I shot at your intestines. Coronavirus with the bullets, leave his ass congested. After that, Mr. Garrison teaches us a lesson. That is South Park, I met a bad bitch from the south. I nut right in the mouth, and after that, turn to my spouse. I'm lifting up the blouse, and after that I fuck her out. After that I kick her out. She like, baby, what's this about? Moaning on me, calling me daddy. I rap like young Pappy. She ride me like cabbies. Told her bitch don't call me daddy, cause I ain't your father. Ballin' hard like Luther Muhammad. I feel like Muhammad. Blowing up just like I'm Osama. Stop causing the drama. Nah, niggas getting them comments. That's word of my mama. Feeling like I saw I get guala. You know that I get it. These little niggas fuck. I don't mention to all of these bitches. I've been getting money to riches. You know I ain't finished. Ooh. That was hard. You fuck with that?
Yeah.